Hey guys, Micah from BlackbearCustomkydex. I have a couple of really cool sheaths to show you. These are both going to Jonathan. And hold on, bear with me. Sorry. Alright, Jonathan's out in Washington State. I was just looking at the box. He shipped the stuff to me in so I could figure out what was going on there. So anyway, Jonathan asked me if I could make a sheath for his Benchmade Bugout. And for those of you who aren't familiar with it, this is a very, very popular knife right now. Very lightweight, good blade steel. Obviously, it's Benchmade. So yeah, anyway, it's definitely something you could consider. For me, it's just a little bit too small for my hand. I'm finding the scales, the whole thickness of it is very thin, so I don't know that I would trust my grip on it if I had to use it in in any aggressive way, but I do really like the knife. It's a quality thing. So anyway, there's that, and he also sent me his Wright Jessmuk, and this is designed by Chris Tanner of Prepared Mind 101, or he's one of the designers. I'm not really sure the entire history on this, but anyway, he's associated with it. Got his sweet logo stamped in to that side of the blade there. And so Jonathan asked me if I could set him up with a sheath that would be a back pocket sheath. So he wants it to be his right back pocket on an UltiClip Slim, and I chose the 2.2 just because lengthwise it makes the most sense. He's also got an Exotech fire rod on here. He sent me this one, so I didn't choose the color of the rod or the shot cord, but he asked me for black with red. So I got flat black and blood red on here for the accent. And so this is actually pretty unique. I haven't done something quite like this before. So using the UltiClip to clip onto the back pocket, originally I had just done it through these holes here on the side. And by the way, these holes are also set up to take a tech lock in case he ever decides to carry it that way. And the orientation would be, you can obviously carry it vertically, horizontally, or canted. And if you do canted, you want to use these two drill holes right here. So the second and the fourth drill hole, Jonathan. All right. So if you cant it for a cross draw, that'll result in roughly that angle right there. So that should be a pretty good, comfortable angle if you're ever going to draw across the body like so. All right. So let's take a quick look. Like I said, originally I had set up the drill holes to accept a tech lock, but also to work with this UltiClip. And the problem with the UltiClip was, number one, I couldn't really get it up as high as he wanted. We had discussed where he wanted the, how much handle he wants to stick out of his pocket. And so it was just a little bit too low over here. But the biggest problem was that when you go to draw it, the balance is all off. So the knife would kind of, tilt like this. And so this is a good time to talk about UltiClips, guys. I get a lot of requests for sheaths with UltiClips, and I think it's really a great clip, but only if it's being used the way it's really designed to be used. So if you want to use it for like an inside the waistband sheath or holster, great. These things work really nicely. Don't clip them onto your belt though. Clip them onto the fabric of your pants, because if you clip them onto something too wide, it stretches the spring out, and you won't be able to clip onto thinner stuff in the future. So that's objection one for you. Objection two is definitely not an outside the waistband clip. You don't want to wear this. It's great for inside the pocket, inside the waistband, that kind of thing. You do not want to try to clip this on and have it have it hanging on the outside of your pants, because the UltiClip is excellent for creating a strong attach point, a strong anchor point, but it does absolutely nothing to stabilize the sheath. So you have this one thin attach point, and then your knife can move all around like this. This is essentially what it looks like when it's just flopping all around. If you want that, then fine. But to me, that's extremely uncomfortable, and it doesn't feel secure, and your knife can get twisted the wrong direction. It seems like a really bad idea to me. So trying to keep in line with that philosophy of using it the way it's supposed to be used, this going in the back pocket and having a poor balance on the draw made it really uncomfortable to try to draw it. I could get the knife out, but then forget it. Trying to put the knife back into the sheath was just a lost cause. So I decided to create a little standoff plate. So this is just a flat piece. It's not molded or shaped in any way. I've just cut it and obviously given the edges a nice buffing and polishing. And this puts the center of the UltiClip right where it needs to be to provide resistance for the draw and the resheathing. So let me demonstrate real quick with my back pocket. So this is how he wants to carry it. Like so. Hopefully you guys can see. I'm going to pull my shirt down just a little bit to give you a contrast. So you can see sticking up. That's about, I would say that's 2 to 3 inches of handle sticking up above the pocket. Maybe half the handle. It's very comfortable to reach. You can see how comfortably it drew out. And then going back in, yeah. If you can see, okay, there we go. It's got the resistance right where it needs to be. So it is seated all the way in right now. It just doesn't, you don't hear the click when you resheath it. Well, there it is. Listen. It's got a really tiny click. So pulling it out, super easy. And then putting it back in, you just got to be a little bit careful that you're not going to nick your pants or your backside. So anyway, I'm really happy with how this came out. I think this is a really nice sheath for an excellent knife. So, Jonathan, I hope you like that, brother. And then let's take a look at the Bugout. So he asked me to make him a necklace, a paracord necklace sheath, or necker, whatever you want to call it. So, like all of mine, I just put this little slip adjuster on it. I do not do breakaways on there because you can add those yourselves if you want something like that. But I don't want to limit the size of it. So if I put a breakaway on there, I'm putting a finite size on that necklace, and that's going to limit how much or how you can use it. So I don't do that. That said, if you really are concerned about the safety aspects and the reason for having a breakaway, then absolutely, by all means, put that on there. But I no longer do that. So, okay. So this is kind of a cool one. This is very different from all of the other ones that I've made. He said he does not need it to auto deploy. So one of the things that I did was I molded it in such a way that you can this is slipping. You can very easily, maybe. Okay, there we go. You don't want to just pull straight down. What you want to do is just put your thumb on top of the sheath and just kind of rotate and then pull. And so you get it out without deploying your blade. If you do want to auto deploy the blade, you just kind of pull and kind of rotate the Firesteel downward as you draw down. Man, I don't know why this is so much harder than it was a few minutes ago. Well, maybe you brace it with one hand and draw it out like that. He doesn't want it to auto deploy. So I guess I'm going to leave it the way it is because, you can still make it auto deploy. It's not that hard to do, but the default is going to be not to auto deploy. So remember, just grab it up here and rotate it. All I'm doing is I'm kind of just like that. It's super easy. So just separate and pull. Very easy. As for the Firesteel on there, he wanted a very different design, and he'd sent me a drawing. It looked super cool, but I gave it a little thought, and it just wasn't going to work out with the shape of the knife and how the sheath was going to go. Leather would have worked well, but Kydex would be too rigid for the design that he originally wanted. So this is what I ended up going with. But the Firesteel holder on there is just my super standard. It's same as always. Very easy to use. You definitely can go inverted if you want to. Certainly doesn't matter. Whichever way you want to carry it. But alright. So, anyway. That's what I got for that. So if you like these sheets, If you like these knives, if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts on some of Chris Tanner. How about we talk about Chris Tanner's knives? If any of you out there own, you know, the Jess X or the JX6, the JX6 Companion, the Bush Bat, this Jessmuk, any of those, definitely comment down below. Let me know what you think of his knives. Which one is your favorite and why? For that matter, LT Wright, man, awesome knives. But I want your opinions. Those of you out there who've got them or who have used them. Same thing on Benchmade. What do you guys think of the Bugout? And what's your favorite Benchmade folder and why? I really want to get sort of comments and dialogue generated on the channel. I think it just brings the community a little bit further, closer together, and helps educate everybody a little bit more. I don't know how many people out there watching my channel actually read through all the comments. I like to read through comments on a video, unless I'm reading through like a Chris Tanner. There's like 2 billion comments 5 minutes after it's dropped, so I just can't keep up. But anyway, I really do think it helps the community grow and definitely spread some education and you know, user feedback and things on various gear. So comment and let me know what you guys think of all this stuff. And I appreciate you dealing with a longer video than it meant to be, as usual. But I didn't yawn, so that's like 3 out of all of my videos that I haven't yawned in, right? So, all right, guys, I appreciate you sticking around and tune in for the next one. God bless.